Man, I was deaf-warmed over last Saturday.
You were. Listen, guys. Before we start, you know Stanley Newman, don't you,
All
Terry?
right, we are live.
Okay. Never mind. Never mind.
I heard about that, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Take it away, Terry.
Good morning, everybody. How the
Good
hell are
morning
you?
to you.
Good morning. How the heaven are you? Hope everybody's
Lovely. Lovely.
well and lovely. Crisp morning, I believe, is was it you, Rod, that called it crisp last week?
Yeah. And it is really crisp this morning.
Not as crisp as it's gonna be.
Yep. That's what I'm hearing. Long about what? Monday night?
That's what I've heard. Yeah, we're supposed to get down into the low 20s.
At 16, I saw one night. I don't know how.
Woo! Hello.
Yeah. I don't know how dependable that is, but I'm gonna get prepared anyway.
Absolutely. Well, gentlemen,
Who are you talking to now?
yeah,
Somebody
yeah,
at the
really,
Zoom meeting here.
isn't that the truth? I'm trying to get this thing shared to my
Facebook.
Facebook page.
Yeah, I just went live on mine too.
There we go.
So while everybody's getting everything connected, and those that might watch this later on, make sure you give us a thumbs up. If you're watching it on YouTube, make sure you like the video.
Yeah.
And we want to make sure that we thank Joey Urshery and his fine staff at Superior Heating and Air for sponsoring the podcast. And you can reach him at 256-837-2525. Or you can reach him on the World Wide Web, you know, the one that Al Gore made,
Yeah.
at superiorhvac.net.
Yeah, Al Gore, yeah. hmm
That was after they did the movie about he and Tipper called Love Story, I believe it was.
Yeah.
That's true. That's very true.
One day I will have to tell you all about the time that I met the former vice president.
Oh my heavens.
And
We
you
can do
still
that on
wanna
a very
talk about
slow
that?
day. Sir?
You still want to talk about that?
Well, it was a very interesting day to say the least. But
You know, I come real close, not really to meeting him, but one day during their tenure, I was working up in Fayetteville, Tennessee, and he came to Fayetteville, Tennessee that day for something. I know I saw all this military hardware in the air, and I didn't know what was taking place because this was after 9/11. I was started to turn around and come back home, but then in a few minutes to clear it out, but I found out later on that what it was Al Gore had come to visit somebody there in Fayetteville. And I never did find out who it was or what they were doing.
Okay.
What do we got here, Terry?
Well, I'd say Sidney Powell would be our beginning subject this morning.
Sounds like a good one.
all right.
And we may end up with it. Who knows? Um, it's crazy what's going on right now with her. And you know, there was rumors at the beginning of the week that she had been kicked off the team, which is not true. She was not kicked off the team. The
She never was really on the team as such.
Yeah, exactly. And she's kind of been the bell cow.
Be careful, Terry.
I say that out loud?
You did.
Yeah.
Now, are you talking about Auburn or what?
The bell cow?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you start talking about cows, you got to be talking about Auburn.
Yeah.
No, I'm not talking about Auburn.
Okay.
But seriously, she's leading the fight, in my perception anyway, at this point. And from what I understand, it's primarily because she is a military lawyer. And she's the only one of the legal team that can pursue treason charges, which they are in abundance.
Yes.
So there's quite a few people that need to be let out in handcuffs in Cuba, if you know what I'm talking about. I want them to get more of those folks down there.
Absolutely. It's
Mo.
updated and revised, in fact, just for them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of we're in a very, as I love saying, a target-rich environment with these folks. There's lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of charges to go around. No shortage of charges to go around with these folks. They have made certain of that. And there's a whole lot of people that are giving up hope. And I think that's wrong.
Yes, it is.
And, you're going to find out, I believe, as things progress, that, as I've said many times, Trump's playing 4D chess, and the rest of them are playing 2D. What do you think, gentlemen?
Terry, we're talking about Tucker Carlson last Saturday. Tucker got his pants in a wad because she wouldn't come on his show and show her hand, so to speak. You know what? It makes me wonder now whose side Tucker's on. I'm sorry I say that, but I just do. A lawyer, she is an attorney, she's not going to go on national TV and give up her secrets. I don't know, he ought to know that.
I saw a funny clip this week with Ronald Reagan. There was an interview with him shortly after he became president. And the guy that was interviewing him wanted to know what was on the table and what wasn't, militarily. And Reagan looked at him and he said, "Huh?" He said, let's just put something straight. And this is after the Vietnam War. But he said, now we're planning on using nuclear weapons in Vietnam. But I didn't want the folks in Vietnam knowing that. He said, I want them to wake up every night in the middle of the night in a cold sweat, wondering whether or not we were going to drop a nuke on them.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, but, our leadership at the time told everybody, well, we're not going to use nukes in Vietnam. The deterrent is that you've got them and you don't use them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mutually assured destruction that used to be the term.
Mad.
Mutually assured, yeah. What do you think, Brian?
Well, the thing that I've been seeing is, and I've said this since day one, since we started talking about the legal aspects of the election now. The only thing concerns me is we've got to get this to the Supreme Court. And the only movement I've seen is the movement that happened this week when the federal, I believe it was the district court, dismissed the case in Pennsylvania. I haven't seen anything from, well, correction. Wednesday night, she was able to file a suit in federal court. Now, we haven't seen anything come of that, but the courts have been closed the last 2 days.
Right.
So it's probably not going to happen until Monday, when the Supreme Court would even think about looking at this. My fear is that she's running out of time.
Well,
She'll make
there
it.
was au contraire, mon ami. There was a little talked about move made by the Supreme Court this week that trumps all of that. Get it?
Oh, no pun intended there, Terry.
Uh,
You're feeling better, no doubt about it.
I am, thank you. Yes. But what happened was all the justices were assigned to different states in the union. And I don't have a list in front of me right now, but I know that that Pennsylvania and Georgia, Wisconsin, Michigan, all those were assigned very conservative justices.
Yeah.
So that the stuff that funnels up and goes up the hill to the Supreme Court would be addressed by a very conservative justice. And from what I understand, this was somewhat unprecedented. But the neat part about that is, though, that, for example, Amy Coney Barrett, who we believe is a very conservative justice, would be handling. Brian, are you looking that up?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Trying
I know
to anyway.
Clarence Thomas, Georgia. He is over the district in Georgia.
Yeah.
Is one of his states.
Exactly. And if you'll remember, his confirmation hearing was incredibly contentious, led primarily by
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden did everything he could to destroy that man. Not unconfirm him, but destroy that man.
Yep.
And I think Clarence Thomas is going to remember that. I'm not implying that Clarence Thomas is petty enough to take out his individual likes and dislikes in a Supreme Court decision about the president. I think Clarence Thomas is much too good a man and too fine an individual to do that. But
Well, the evidence is going to speak for itself.
it is.
I do. It's going to speak for itself.
It's going to shout.
Yep.
I mean, it's crazy. There's literally thousands of counties and districts in this country where more than 100% of the people who were eligible to vote voted in that election.
It was magic.
It was. It's getting close to Christmas time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With Santa Claus and all that stuff.
But Satan's been way too involved in this election here, and we've got to see God's intervention, and I believe we have been. I really believe that God has been showing out in this, and He has taken this to the place that it needs to be. There's a whole lot of machinations going on behind the scenes that we're not privy to.
Well, and Terry, I'll say this. I know. I honestly believe there are more people who think like we do in this country than there are that think on the other side.
I agree.
I still believe that. However, it's just like, like on the playground at school. The bullies were in the minority, but guess what? They always caused the most disturbances.
Yeah, I agree.
Eventually, they were dealt with. This bully is about to be dealt with.
The thing about bullies is they're cowards.
Yep.
Bullies are cowards. They wouldn't be a bully if they weren't a coward. And if you just punch them in the nose, bullies normally just slink away. So I think there's a whole lot of punching going on. And one thing I know about President Trump, he's a puncher.
Mm-hmm. And he can take a punch.
And he can take a punch. But he give away a whole lot more than he got. I do believe that too.
And he ain't through yet.
No. And he ain't shot.
It's not over.
No, he has, there's going to be, I believe, again, opinion of Fat Boy here.
Who are you talking about?
Well, that's what I was just fixing to say. Maybe I should clarify that.
That really could have been the name of the show.
We're all a little bit on the fluffy side.
Oh, brother.
But seriously though, I firmly believe that, there's so many different things going on right now. For example, you brought up Tucker Carlson a few minutes ago. There was a wild rumor running around this week that Tucker Carlson was leaving Fox News and was going to defect to Newsmax, which I would love to see that, honestly. I'd love to see him leave Fox. But apparently he said that he's not leaving Fox and that he's even going to have a more expanded role at Fox. And honestly, I think he's...
more expanded role?
What he said. That's what he said. A more expanded role. Now what that means, I'm not sure. I'm sure that Tucker's probably got a good idea of what that's going to look like, but at this point, I don't know what that's going to be. But it's going to be an expanded role of some kind. So, by the way, today, while I'm thinking about it, we're going to be giving away a $25 gift card, right, Brian?
Yes, we are. And what you need to be doing is listening and watching the podcast. And at some point during the podcast, we will be showing numbers for a gift card that you can use for online purchases. We make the suggestion every week that you have something already picked out and ready to purchase whenever you see the gift card numbers. So it'll happen sometime within the next 2 hours.
Good deal. We've got a bunch of folks joining us this morning.
All right.
Got a very lovely lady named Betty Cook Taylor. Hey, girl. But anyway, we've got a bunch of folks joining us this morning. We appreciate you doing that. And if you'd like to make a comment, I'm monitoring that. So just make a comment there on Facebook. I know Brian's got his Facebook up, and Rod, did you ever get a Facebook yet?
You mean a Facebook account or what?
Yeah, you got one. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got one.
Yeah. Do you share it to your Facebook account?
I have not as such, no.
Okay. Well, the man, the myth, the legend, Rod Hayes, If you're friends with him, you could make comments on his page too. Is your lovely producer working this morning?
She is. I think she is at this point. Shall we say she's dressing herself up.
Okay, cool.
She. I kind of thought, Terry, at first I might have to end up doing the job this morning, but it ended up just a little too cold and damp, and I was going to have to let her take over for about the first hour.
Okay, well, that would have been fine.
Yeah, I thought so. We do need to, not today, but sometime we do need to do a segment on the schools.
We really do.
Yeah, I mean, I've got she can add to this, as well as another couple of ladies that I can think of that we know. Who.
Roll Tide.
Good morning, lady. How the heaven are you?
We're making it. Trying to decorate trees and.
Okay, who's going to win the game today?
You know what? That's one of those games you never know.
Whoever gets the most points at the end of it's all I can tell you for sure.
You could be blowing everybody else away when it comes to Iron Bowl. You never know.
Well, the man's not going to be there this morning.
Oh, but he is.
Well, virtually, I guess, right?
Well,
Tell us about it, Brian.
Honestly, I think he's going to wind up getting one of the suites that's not going to be used.
Yeah.
And will be talking in someone's head.
Yeah.
Now,
he'll be dressed up as an official.
he may be dressed up as maintenance crew.
Well,
I saw one post yesterday showed him he had one of these Pope mobiles. They said, the car with the covering on the back of it.
Yeah, I understand.
Well,
I will tell you this, guys. I'm coming out the other side of my experience with COVID. It's been a rough one. But I have been fortunate in that mine has been not as rough as an awful lot of people. I've had the favor of God on me. And I've had a tremendous amount of people praying for me, and David and Kristen. And David and Kristen, all three of us are supposed to go back to work on Monday. So praise God for that.
Good, very good.
Yeah. But this stuff, and I attribute a lot of my good fortune with this and lack of severity of my symptoms, I attribute a lot of them to hydroxychloroquine. I was able to secure hydroxychloroquine early on, and this stuff has been amazing. Because I have a lot of as they call them, comorbidities that are could have been extremely serious, and had me on a ventilator and all the other kind of stuff.
I didn't know this until last night. When they put you on the ventilator, they keep you knocked out the whole time.
Yeah.
They have to.
Yeah. I didn't know. Hadn't even heard that until last night.
Yeah.
Having been on one, you don't want to wake up and find it happening to you.
Yeah, I can imagine. I've never been on one,
so.
thank the Lord. But I would imagine that's the case. Brian, you've had some issues happen health-wise, and so tell us a little bit about being on a ventilator. What's that like?
Well, the only time I was on a ventilator was, it's been about 15 years ago. 14, 15 years ago. And I remember when I woke up and they had that tube run down my throat.
Yeah.
I was fighting it because, Have you ever taken your finger and tried to run it down your throat to make yourself throw up? I mean, hey, it's a graphic morning if you're going to get there. But, you know, you're fighting against it.
Nobody's eating their biscuit at this point.
You're fighting against it. And, yeah, they want you kept knocked out, so you're not fighting against it. Now, when I had my issue a few years ago, they basically used a CPAP on me to force the air into my lungs. But it's not fun. You're not going to sit there and hold a conversation. You can't talk because literally you've got a tube run down your throat.
Right.
To force the air into your lungs. So I know there are people out there that have had to go through that with the virus, and you know, I can just imagine how hard it is on them, and you know, whenever they wake up, because it's not fun. It really is not fun. But Terry, I did find the listing of all the judges and the districts that they're covering.
Cool. Why don't you share that with us?
All right. Chief Justice Roberts has been assigned to the 4th Circuit. This also includes the District of Columbia.
That's fine. He can have it.
Yeah, they can have him too.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it would be nice to have a conservative judge, which he's supposed to be one, you know, take over, you know, these liberal areas. But, you know, Chief Justice and the District of Columbia, that kind of makes sense. Justice Thomas has been assigned the 11th Circuit. Justice Breyer, the 1st Circuit.
Brian, tell us what states are in the circuit.
Oh, now you're asking for something that I don't have pulled up.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry.
Because I found a story that had that, but it was very complicated trying to figure out all the different districts. Justice Breyer has the 1st. Alito has the 3rd and 5th. Justice Sotomayor has the 2nd. Justice Kagan has the 9th, which we know the 9th. That's,
isn't it?
That's the
San Francisco, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. California, yeah.
Gorsuch has the 10th. Kavanaugh has the 6th and the 8th. And Coney has the 7th. Now, give me a second and I can back up to that map, and that'll give you a little bit better information. The 9th is the left coast, which includes Wyoming, Idaho, Oregon, Washington, Nevada, Arizona, and California, Alaska, and Hawaii.
You know, some really good jokes in there about Kamala Harris and Idaho.
Okay, Terry, we want to keep this PG.
Yeah, I probably should go there, but there are some really, really good jokes.
So the 10th, yeah, I'm trying to get through it. The 10th district is Utah, Oklahoma, Nebraska, New Mexico, that area. The 5th Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi. The 11th is Alabama, Georgia, and Florida. 6th is Tennessee. Do what?
That was
The 11th.
Thomas, wasn't it?
Yeah, that would be Clarence Thomas.
Yeah, we're the 11th district.
Yeah.
Yeah, including Georgia.
Yes. Alabama, Georgia, and Florida. The 6th district is Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio, and Michigan. 7th is Wisconsin, Illinois, and Indiana. The 4th is South and North Carolina, Virginia, West Virginia, and it looks like it's New Jersey and Delaware. The 3rd is Pennsylvania. The 2nd is New York. And 1st district is Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, you know, the postage stamp states.
Yeah.
So that's how the states are broken out in the districts. So
Hey, why don't we do something interesting already this morning?
okay,
We've got a bunch of folks watching this morning that I'm seeing on my Facebook. And I'm probably, I'm sure there's a bunch of folks on y'all. Why don't we go ahead and give away that $25 gift certificate?
all right,
What do you think?
we can do that.
Let's go ahead and reward some of our viewers this morning. Now again, folks, Brian's about to hold up a number.
This is the actual card.
That's the actual card. Now, how you use that is you need to have I suggest that you either have a piece of paper and a pencil or a pen, or one of the tricks that I've done lately is when I want to remember things, I put them in as a text message on my phone. So whoever gets that number and uses it first online gets the $25. And you can use that anywhere online. You will not have the actual card. Brian's got that. He and the lovely Tammy, who's a Tennessee fan. That's not much to brag about lately, unfortunately. But anyway, still a proud fan. But he'll hold up that card here in just a moment, and be ready to capture that card number, the expiration date, and the 3-digit code from the back. Take it away, Brian.
All right. So here is, well, there we go.
Yep.
There's the number right there. 4358 8007 3446 0275. The expiration date is 4 of 2028, and the CVV is 561.
Okay, folks, again, that's 4358 8007 3446 0275. Expiration 4 of 28, CVV 561. Now, whoever uses that, if you would, please, whoever successfully uses that card, if you would put a note here on one of our Facebook pages that you actually use that, I sure would appreciate it.
Yeah, we'd like to know what you're getting us for Christmas.
Yeah, I didn't mention that part, did I?
No, you didn't.
All kidding aside, you can use it for whatever you want to.
Exactly, like a gift for us.
Like a gift card for Brian Black, who's his lovely Coco, I'm sure, could use some chew toys.
Absolutely. Because she is using Tammy as a chew toy.
Ooh.
Oh. So, just to let you know, you see those two spots?
Ooh.
One's a tooth, one is a nail.
A nail?
Yeah, a toenail.
Oh, a toenail. Okay.
It's kind of healed up now, but you can see a scar right through there.
Wow.
And that was a tooth. That was the canine that just kind of ripped. Yeah, but Tammy is covered in them.
Wow.
When she went to work the other day, they thought that I might have been beating her up or something. But she is.
I don't think you'd live long if you tried that.
Yeah, that's true. But she's been used as a chew toy.
Well, you know, being the owner of a I don't know, do you call it an owner? What do you call it when you own a chow puppy? What do you call that?
You're their human.
Well, I mean, they're our children, that's for sure. But
Children?
yeah,
Oh, that's bad. That's bad.
that's what chow owners call their chows. Children. Children. Mm-hmm.
Never heard that.
Yes. Well, unless you're a chow owner, you probably don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But we call them children.
Chowsers.
Huh?
Chowsers.
Mm. Well,
Anyway,
I guess that's one thing you could call.
It's a full contact sport, apparently.
Yes, it is. It's especially when they are as playful as Coco is. And you know, when she is chewing on Tammy, her tail is just going crazy. She's playing. There's no malice in her at all. Which, you know, chows get a bad reputation because they are very protective of their family.
Yeah.
And most people hear the word chow and they think of, you know, pit bulls and stuff like that. It's not that way.
Well, I have two cousins that are some of the leading veterinarians in the country, and one thing that they have told me was that they are the most careful with chows because they've been attacked more by chows than any other breed.
I can believe it, but it's just like with pit bulls, German shepherds, even a cocker spaniel can be mean. It depends on how they are raised.
Right, I agree.
But I can tell you for a fact that the bite pressure of a chow is one of the greatest of the breeds.
Yeah.
They rank only behind like a German Shepherd, a Pit Bull, that they can flat clamp down on you. So I'll just give anybody advice if they come across a chow, do not go at them over their head because they don't like it. I mean, I have worked with ours to allow us to do that just in case someone was to do that by accident. But
what do you mean over their head? What do you mean by that?
Like if you're petting them on their back and then just run your hand between their ears and go over their face, they don't like that at all. So you know how we always talk about if you come across a strange dog, let them sniff your hand. Yes. Do it on their terms. Don't try and force it. Because, like I said, they don't know you, and a chow is more apt to be protective of, like I said, of their family, of their domain. It's funny watching Coco now. She's starting to develop her big girl voice. When she is outside and she hears something, you hear that, and it is kind of sweet. She wants it to be dark, deep. Okay, if you watch The Lion King, remember when Simba was trying to practice his growl, and then all of a sudden you hear that big growl come out, and it's his dad, scaring off the hyenas. Well, that's what she's at right now. She's trying to develop that big growl.
She's an adolescent.
Yeah, she hasn't even got quite the adolescence yet. I mean, she's just turned 3 months old, and she's already standing about a foot tall.
Okay.
Whenever you saw her, she's grown twice that size.
Wow. Okay.
And that's only been about a month.
Do you have any small furry creatures around your house?
To me?
Yes.
Oh yeah, no doubt. We've got one outside and one inside. And I'm the only male in the whole house.
I know that feeling.
Yeah, you can identify, I guess, can't you, Brian?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Rod has got a little larger sea of estrogen to swim in than you do.
Brother, is it ever? It's all good though. I wouldn't trade it.
What kind of furries do you have?
We have she's a Corgi Pomeranian mix.
Okay.
She's a sheltered dog. Turns out that we had a dog that she was a beagle and rat terrier mix. We had since the girls were little, and she heartworm got her about 4 or 5 years ago. But,
Oh no.
anyway, I told Bridget, I said, let's get a dog we can keep in the house. So anyway, we've got in fact, here she is. Here's Katie Bell. Hello, Katie Bell.
She's a sweetheart.
Oh, she is. There's no doubt. And
She's a mama's girl.
she's
That's
listen,
how good she is.
she sleeps on the bed with some of us every night of the week. She
Know that feeling.
yeah, and then we have a cat. She stays outside, and Katie Bell likes to harass her, of course. That gives them a little exercise. That's all the fur babies we have.
Well, getting back to
Hey Terry, before we move on to another topic, let's hear a word from Joey and his staff over at Superior Heating and Air.
absolutely. Go ahead, bro, friend.
Our house has never been this comfortable.
They're actually early. We've never had any service like this before.
Our utility bills have never been this low.
Hey, this is Joey, the owner of Superior Heating and Air. These are the things our customers have to say when they turn to the experts at Superior Heating and Air to repair their systems at home or to replace their systems with a new Carrier heating and air system. Give us a call today at 256-837-2525 if you would like the same results for your home. And remember, at Superior Heating and Air, we'll keep the air on for you.
And we do want to thank Joey and his fine staff for sponsoring the podcast and helping us get this on the air. And if you'd like to help us. Go to the website. Terry, you want to give the TACNN website? Because I think there's a donate button there.
Yeah, there is. It's www.tacnn.com. That's our website. So
the letters are up there on our logos.
Right, exactly. That's what it is right there. TACNN.com.
Yeah.
Stands
Terry
for
Communications Network.
Well, my brother thought that, and when he first heard it, he says, "Yeah, that's Terry Arnold." No.
Oh,
The
it's not?
American Conservative News Network.
I've been telling everybody it was. So much for that.
You could also think of it as the alternative to CNN.
Yeah.
Exactly. It is very much so.
Absolutely.
And those folks over there are. I tell you what, guys, we are at such a crossroads and words in our society right now. And you know what's amazing to me is I've been hearing a tremendous amount of support for Trump from all over the world. They are so invested in our election because they realize how important it is. And there are so many Trump supporters. They're having multiple Trump rallies in Japan. You know, I don't ever remember that happening do y'all ever remember that happening with another candidate?
No.
There's another country somewhere where they're having rallies for Trump. I can't think where it is.
Yeah, Australia's one of them.
Yeah, Australia.
Yeah.
Well, and Hong Kong. I mean, it's not necessarily Trump rallies, but I mean they're waving the American flag more than we are.
How sad is that they're leading us in that area? I mean, it's good. Don't get me wrong, but it's kind of sad also. By the way, if anybody claimed that $25 gift card, please let us know. Post a comment or send an email or send a text message if you have our phone numbers. But let us know if you claimed that $25 gift card, please. We'd just like to know. Again, Brian needs chew toys for Cocoa Bear.
Yes. Send me a private message and I'll give you the address if you want to donate to that fund.
Or if you want to donate to the president's re-election campaign or the Georgia
Senate races.
We need to talk about too is the Senate races in Georgia that are so amazingly contentious right now. Therein lies a big part of how our country is going to go. If we lose the Senate or end up being 50-50 tie, it's going to come down to, and I just have trouble saying this woman's name. The lady I was talking about that's associated with Idaho.
Miss Harris?
Yeah. You know what's very telling to me about this whole thing? She's not resigned from the Senate yet to be vice president, even though she is vice president-elect. She's not resigned.
There's an office for that.
Do what? Do what, Rod?
That's all I said there's an office of the president-elect and vice president-elect. I didn't know that until the other day.
There's really not. They've invented all that
I
kind
mean,
of
it's,
stuff.
yeah,
Well, the problem is, Terry, the probably the reason why she hasn't is because of the Electoral College.
Right. But she's not confident enough in their position yet to have even resigned that.
Well,
Because
if
Biden is
she
not
resigns,
President-elect. He's not. He claims to be. But until the Electoral College has met and he has been declared vice presidential or presidential elect, that's just a mythical title that he
True.
has.
well, it goes back to something that we talked about either last week or a week before that. The press is not the ones that declare who is the president. It is the Electoral College.
Nope.
And so this has been my fear, and I believe there was a story that was came out either late Friday or late Thursday where they said that Trump had said that if the Electoral College goes for Biden, that he would leave the White House at that point.
Right.
So that's why I'm concerned that we're running out of time to get anything in the court system, because that happens the 15th, I believe, of December.
14th. Yeah, December 14th is when
14th.
they're supposed to declare.
So, again, my fear is that we're running out of time.
Brian, I believe we're going to see it happen Monday.
I hope so.
I think we will.
We've had discussions over this past week, and I've kind of, had doubts about, it getting to the Supreme Court. I want it to go to the Supreme Court. I want the court system to say, we cannot allow, the changes that were made in like Pennsylvania, the changes with the Dominion counting systems. I want it to change. I'm just afraid it's not going to because of running out of time.
It'll happen.
Georgia made the comment that they were just going to keep everything going the same way they had for the presidential elections, and the problem is, without any changes, we're going to have the same results.
By the way, wouldn't it be crazy to find out that the election software and the COVID-19 stat software were created by the same company? That's true. That's actually true.
Mm-hmm.
Dominion created them both. Surprise, surprise.
When a company tells the people using their system, and it's a counting system, that it's got to be hooked up to the internet, I'm sorry, no. That's not the way it should be run.
No.
I guess I keep going back to the systems we have here in the state. I'm a little bit familiar with them. You would not want anything connected to the internet. How easy is it to go in and hack computer systems now? And and I know that when our systems are finished tabulating, that they pull the hard drive out. Now, it might be a USB flash drive at this point, but you pull them out and you take them to the courthouse to where they're all tabulated together. Is it Pennsylvania where 47 hard drives are missing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That there's no way that we can have faith in our election system when you have things like that going on.
You're right.
Well, and stuff is still being uncovered day by day. Every day they uncover something new. I think they're giving this all time to let as much of it be exposed as possible, because, well, I mean, it's as broad as it is tall. I mean, this has been going on for what, since probably 2012, maybe even before that. But it finally is coming to a head, and I don't know. I see a force at work that I mean, just like King Cuomo got shot down with his making people stay inside.
Yeah.
You know.
And that gives me hope.
Yeah.
That, you know, things are going to work out okay in the Supreme Court. I mean,
it will.
That actually is one of the articles that I had pulled for discussion this week. Is you know, looking at the way the Supreme Court handled that, they slapped it down in a heartbeat.
They did.
Well, and when this starts, it's gonna be kind of like a chain reaction, and you're gonna have 3, probably 4 states that are going to determine the whole election. And I don't know. I wouldn't doubt if they don't end up investigating and possibly flipping California. They say
that would definitely be a heavy lift.
I'm sorry, what?
That would definitely be a heavy lift.
Oh yeah.
To flip California.
But it's not entirely out of the realm of possibility.
No, I agree. I mean, when you have more people that have voted in a district than there are registered voters, you know, you've got issues.
Guys, think about this. If this had been the Republicans trying to pull this off, what would the media have done?
What they did for 4 years. Russian collusion. Now, hey, everything's okay. I think you put out a meme, or it was Gerald, about all votes cast. I forget it. It was something about, you know, even if it was an illegal vote, it needed to be counted.
That wasn't me.
It must have been Gerald.
Must have been. You know, the thing about it is that, you know, you look at, and I don't have the exact numbers in front of me right now, but as far as counties won in the U.S., it's unbelievable the amount of counties that Biden won versus Trump, and yet he supposedly got, what, 9 million more votes than the Dalai Lama?
Yeah.
Did I say that out loud? I did, didn't I?
Yeah.
The Dalai Lama, yeah.
Dalai Lama.
In the Wildebeest. But I wish I was more outspoken. I'm working on that.
You really need to be, Terry. You do.
But did I mention Idaho? I did. I mentioned Idaho.
But she's a member of the. I told she's a member of the Idaho tribe, not Idaho, but Idaho.
Come on, guys. We want to keep it PG-13 at least. I mean, next thing you're going to do is start talking about Ohio.
Yeah. Well,
I was just reporting what I heard. I mean,
there's a you know that again, if you look at the shape of Idaho, it looks like Biden sniffing. It does. It really does. If you look at the shape of Idaho, it looks. When I saw that first and they mentioned it, I lost it. But ever since then, when I see the shape of Idaho, I go, never.
Oh, goodness.
I saw a meme this week of a German Shepherd with the face of Biden on the Shepherd, and they were saying that you know that he was the new dog sniffing dog or person sniffing dog they were going to use. Had Biden's head.
oh, brother.
Oh, me.
Well, you know, I mean, if the shoe fits, wear it, you know. I mean, if
Can't argue with that.
if we've ever had somebody who was a serious repeat offender as far as sniffing,
He'd definitely win the title.
Yep. He's pretty amazing about that. By the way, Brian, who's our sponsor today, buddy?
The state of Idaho.
Feel like we're getting over into Sesame Street territory. We're going to be sponsored by the number 9 today. Anyway, tell us about our...
Well, now, if you want to talk about the number 9, you got to talk about the smell of the color 9.
That's true. That's true. That's
Oh, me. But our sponsor is Superior Heating and Air, and let's watch their video.
Our house has never been this comfortable.
They're actually early. We've never had any service like this before.
Our utility bills have never been this low.
Hey, this is Joe, the owner of Superior Heating and Air. These are the things our customers have to say when they turn to the experts at Superior Heating and Air to repair their systems at home or to replace their systems with a new Carrier heating and air system. Give us a call today at 256-837-2525 if you would like the same results for your home. And remember, at Superior Heating and Air, we'll keep the air on for you.
All right, and we do want to thank Joey Ursery and his fine staff at Superior Heating and Air for sponsoring the podcast. And you can visit Joey's website. It is superiorhvac.net. Remember, he is the Carrier Presidential Award winner in the area. And give Joey a call at 256-837-2525 and schedule a maintenance for your heating and air conditioning unit. And because right now we're still in that area, that period of time when if you're turning the air on during the day and the heat on at night, so that's going to be real rough on your system. And have him come out and take a look at it.
I think that's about to be over with, though.
Probably.
Yeah, I think so too.
Hey, Terry, I need to step out for just a second, so I'm going to kill my video.
Okay. By the way, Sidney Powell is asking for Americans. She's asking for prayer. So I'm stepping forward and I'm asking all prayer warriors to pray and pray hard for Sidney Powell. She's got all the forces of Hades against her right now, and she's she's a tough woman, but she needs divine intervention in what she's doing right now, because this literally is a fight for the soul of our country.
Yep.
And she needs all the prayer support that she can get.
We need really, Terry, to remember that each one of those attorneys. I mean, you got, of course, Lynn Wood, Jay Sekulow, and his son, and of course Rudy Giuliani.
Oh yeah.
And man, listen, I've been told that Sidney Powell, she's receiving death threats, and I knew it was going to happen if it hadn't already been happening. But you know, the thing is, God, I believe, has protected our president.
Oh, absolutely.
In the last 4 years in a way that's unprecedented. And, you know, God, I believe God wants us involved. He wants us to pray. You know, I've said, and I'll say it again, this particular situation, I believe that the forces of good are going to prevail, but God wants us to pray.
He does. That's our job.
And while we have sort of neglected our duty on that, I believe you've got people praying now that never prayed before. I mean, I talk to people every day on Facebook, people that I normally never thought of as being a person of prayer, and they say they're praying. And, you know, here's the thing, you're starting to see a lot of people who supported Biden in the election now having buyer's remorse, so to speak. They are...
Yeah, you're right.
They think they may have messed up, which I believe it's going to be proven without a doubt when it comes out Trump is the real winner.
In a landslide.
In a serious landslide.
I agree. By the way, speaking of the bar, Amy Coney Barrett passed the bar. Kamala Harris failed the bar. And AOC worked at a bar.
Donald Trump killed a bar when he was only 3.
Yeah, with a switch.
Yeah. Yeah, they.
By the way, I went to Walmart this week and I asked one of the guys there. I said, "Hey, where do I find the nuts?" And he said, "Over on the toilet paper aisle."
He was ready for you on that one, wasn't he?
But, you know, folks are starting to hoard the toilet paper again.
Well, and I'm going to say, you know, living in the house with 3 women, Terry, all during the summer, every other time I'd go to the nearby dollar store, I'd grab a 10 or 12 roll pack, and I've been hoarding it, but you know, it's nothing out of the ordinary for me here. And my producer just showed a picture of the map of the United States, And yeah, it does look like Biden there. No
That's
doubt.
Biden sniffing. I'm telling you, Idaho looks like.
Oh my heavens.
Hey, something else we got to talk about real quick.
Let's do it.
This is the holiday season, and a lot of people are cooking with pecans. And there's a lot of, now, do y'all say pecans or pecans?
Pecan.
Pecans.
You say pecans?
Mm-hmm.
Do you really?
Well, I kind of, it depends on who I'm talking to.
Okay. Pecans are made, they're cans of peas made by like Del Monte and Stokely and you know, Great Value and those are pecans. Pecans are a wonderful meaty fruit that you get off a tree that is you make pecan pie, all sorts of wonderful things with pecans. Pecans are, you know, anyway.
It's a can of peas comes in.
Now, Terry, it depends on, like I said, who I'm talking to. Depends on how southern they are.
Okay.
You know, it's a pecan pie or it's a pecan pie. Like I said, depending on how southern they are.
Well, here's I don't know. I'm a pecan guy. We used to, where I grew up in Spring City, Tennessee.
It would be
By the
pecan.
way, people all over are going, what in the world, Spring City? It says, welcome to Spring City on both sides of the same sign. It's a small town. Small town. That's where I grew up. And we had a pecan tree in the backyard. It's the biggest pecan tree I ever saw. This thing was massive, and it produced, oh my gosh, amounts of pecans. And I mean, we harvested our pecan tree. We didn't just pick up a few that dropped. I mean, we had a war going on with our squirrels and blue jays, and we called them jaybirds.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a war going on. My grandfather, he was serious about his pecans now. He took, we used to love those little Pet Ritz pies. Remember those?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was one of our, that was, usually we ended up every meal just about with a piece of Pet Ritz pie. So therefore we had lots of those little aluminum pans. And my grandfather came up with the idea of, we'd sew them together and put some marbles in there. And then hang them up in the tree so that when the wind blew, not only would it provide a lot of noise, but the sun would glint off of the pie pans, and that would scare the blue jays and the squirrels.
Jaybirds.
Jaybirds. And he built a scarecrow, and he put some of his old clothes on it, and we hung it up in the tree with a motor on it that turned it. We were serious about pecans now. We were serious about pecans. And every morning before I went to school, that was part of our deal, is me or my brother Juan would climb up in the tree with a .22 and we would shoot jaybirds and squirrels. We were serious about our pecans now. Pecans, not pecans. And we would harvest bushels and bushels of pecans off of that tree every year. And so anyway, that's kind of an aside. But we were serious about our pecans. There's no doubt about that.
It sounds like it.
Yeah. But getting back to the issues at hand. This needs to be a serious item of prayer for all of us. We need to be on our, as the old folks used to call them, prayer bones. And if you're not praying over this, you really don't realize how much of a fight we're in if you're not praying about it. For the soul of our nation.
Yes.
And really, literally, the soul of the world.
Yep.
It really is. It's the soul of the world that we're fighting for. So,
well, Terry, I totally agree with you, but you have to remember that Satan is the one that is over the world. I mean, you know, this is his playground, and until judgment comes, and you know, and whether judgment comes, you know, sooner or later, you know, it's going to come. You know, we have to remember that all the things that are going on in the country, all the things that go on in this world. There's an old song that we sing in church. You know, this world is not my home, I'm just passing through. And we got to remember that.
Yeah.
That, you know, even if we were to lose our freedoms, you know, to worship, and I think that is why these governors like Newsom and Cuomo are trying to they're trying to hinder our abilities to go to worship.
They are.
And, you know, worship is, people think that, you know, well, that can't happen. It already is happening.
It is happening.
The pandemic is just an excuse.
Yep.
By the way, we've got a couple of comments. Bradley Roden, who you know there, Rod.
Yeah.
He said, tell them where to get the best pecans.
No doubt about it. I went and bought 2 bags this past week from him.
From where's that?
Roden Surplus.
There you go. Where is Roden Surplus?
It's on Old Highway 24, County Road 460, which, depending on which way you're coming from, well, I guess it's a Trinity address, but they're actually in Caddo.
Yep. Yeah, we went there last Friday.
Did you really?
Yeah. We've gone over there for the last couple of years because of all the Christmas stuff that they have displayed, and they've got all kinds of stuff to decorate your house with. Maybe they would be interested in being a sponsor of the podcast.
Maybe so. Bradley says he's eating some roasted and salted in a shooting house right now. He's out there doing hunting.
Now, being a diabetic, and that's why I had to step away for a few minutes, there is a place down in Clanton, Alabama. You see it going down the interstate. They have some of the best pecan pies.
Oh, yeah. Peach. Is it Peach Park?
No. It's the one on the other side.
Water tank is?
Huh?
You talking about the one where the big water tank is?
No.
Okay.
This I can't remember the name of the farms that
Is it Durbin Farms?
Durbin, yes, thank you, Rod.
Yeah.
Durbin Farms. They've got some great pecan pies that are sugar free.
No, I can attest to this now. Bradley, talking about their pecans, and you won't beat the price anywhere either, I don't think, on already shelled pecans. I mean, they're perfect. My producer, she made a couple of pecan pies, and they didn't last very long for some reason. Like they just disappeared. But those pecans, man, listen, for the price, you can't beat it. You won't beat the price anywhere. And they're first quality. So
yeah,
we'll give them that plug.
Bradley said he appreciated the kind words, and he said that was his attempt at free advertising.
It worked.
It did, didn't it?
Yeah. That's all right.
Well, we'd love for him to be a sponsor. That way we can keep things going on the podcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
You may have to get with him sometime this week and talk to him.
All right, I can do that.
Hey, I'm not bashful about asking for people to help us, because I didn't realize how much money it takes to put on a podcast and to do it right. I mean, we've had our technical difficulties, but I think for the last couple of weeks we've been pretty rock solid on the technical problems.
We have, we're getting everything worked out, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to be the alternative to what the mainstream media is putting out.
And we're a lot funnier than they are, too.
Yes, we are. Indeed.
Yes.
People have more fun than anybody, Terry, if you think about it.
Well, you got to have fun, or else life isn't worth living.
That's the way I feel about it.
Absolutely.
God didn't want us to be moping around worried about a lot of things. He wants us to enjoy life and praise Him.
What did He say? To be anxious for nothing, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. And everything give thanks.
Yeah.
I got to mention this. I really do. There's a sign. Some of y'all will get this, and some of y'all won't. But it's a sign that said, "Now hiring long-haired, freaky people."
That'd make a good song.
Y'all?
I remember it well.
Don't sing it.
Okay. I could, though.
I bet you could. Most people under 40 won't get that, but it's an old song that talk about long-haired, freaky people need not apply.
Mm-hmm. I took my hair up under my hat and I went in to ask him why.
Hey, now. No singing, please.
It's good stuff, though, Dad.
But, we were talking about the stuff that Cuomo and Newsom have been trying to put out. It was a good thing whenever that came out 5-4. It should have been 6-3.
We'll take 5-4.
Yeah, I'll take 5-4 any day of the week.
5-4's a win.
But
well, here's an article that our buddy Gerald Dodd posted. Pennsylvania judge files memorandum stating 2020 Pennsylvania election likely unconstitutional.
Yeah, think.
Trump case likelihood to succeed gives state legislators power to choose electors. This is huge.
Well,
this is huge.
And the thing is, one of the things that came out last couple of days was in the federal district court. That's the one I was referencing earlier, where they threw out the claim by the Trump administration. But you can't throw out the claim when clearly it's unconstitutional what they did. The governor was passing these edicts, and the state legislature did not have the they didn't vote on it. They're the only Section 2 is clear that the state legislature are the people who decide how the votes are to be cast. It's that simple. I'm not a constitutional lawyer, but even I can read that. I may have gone to school at Elkmont, but I can still read that and understand it. Do what?
They have schools up there?
Yes. Yes. But hey, I'm a piney people, so, you know.
You're what?
A piney people.
A piney people. Okay,
Yes.
I'll be your straight man. Gee, Brian, what's a piney people?
Piney people are the people that went to school at Piney Chapel, and then after the 9th grade got transferred up to Elkmont.
You finished the 9th grade?
Yeah, I sure did. A lot better than the 6th grade that you finished.
Yeah, but that was as high as you could go at Spring City.
I hear that's as high as you can go, period, in the state of Tennessee. Even when you go to the universities.
Where's Tammy? Where's Tammy?
She's not here.
I figured that's what it was. I figured she was gone. You were talking that bold about Tennessee.
It's just me and Coco right now.
You and Coco, okay. All right. But anyway, seriously, Judge Patricia A. McCullough rules that Pennsylvania preliminary election certification injunction was properly issued and should be upheld. So she said they have appeared to establish a likelihood to succeed. That's amazing. The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania is barred from taking any further steps to certify results. Issues raised found to be of statewide and national concern and likelihood to succeed on the merits. Hallelujah, praise God himself.
Yeah.
Because honestly, the way Pennsylvania goes is the way this election's going to go. It really is, and that's my belief anyway.
Well, we still got a lot more electoral college votes to find out there before that's going to be it. I mean, you got Pennsylvania, you've got Michigan, Wisconsin, even Georgia.
All right, we have a request from a very high-ranking viewer. Very high-ranking. Lady named Doris Black wants to see Coco.
Well, if I can get her over here. Coco.
That's Brian's mother, by the way.
She's being bashful right now. I'm going to do it this way. It's not going to be pretty, but here we go. Coco. There's Coco.
Hey, Coco.
Hey, Coco.
Hello, sweetie. Hey, Coco.
She's looking at me like, what are you doing?
Okay, Miss Doris, we got your itch scratch there.
Yes. Thursday, Coco got lots of loving. Mom came over, and Tammy's mother was over here, and we had Thanksgiving, and then later on in the afternoon, the other part of the family showed up. So we thought Coco might have had a playmate with my in-laws' new puppy that they've got. They got a pug.
What breed is Coco now?
Chow Chow.
Chow Chow. Okay.
She is a black and blue Chow Chow.
She's a pretty little outfit.
Yeah. A lot of people get worried whenever a Chow Chow sticks their tongue out, because Chow Chow has a black tongue.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's real disconcerting to some people whenever they see it. They think, well, something must be wrong with the dog. No.
Hey, got a question for you guys. Have you ever felt like, and I feel like this a lot lately, that, excuse me, somebody has left the bag of idiots open and they're escaping?
I think somebody just turned the bag upside down and emptied it.
I think so too.
Well, one thing we may want to consider as a segment on the show is awarding ID10T awards.
And that would be what?
Y'all never heard of an ID10T award? You
I
got
don't
your
think
piece.
so.
You got your piece of paper and pen?
Nah, sure, go ahead.
ID, the number 10, T. What does it look like?
I don't know, tell us there.
ID 10T. ID
Oh, okay.
IOT.
Got it.
Idiot.
Idiot. Okay.
Well, Terry, one of my friends at the shopping center, on the very far end of the shopping center, told me about that. Over at the hardware store.
Yeah,
So,
go.
but anyway, we're running out of time.
We are.
We need to tack a little bit here, guys. Did y'all hear about that? The governor, is it of Michigan, Gretchen Whitmer? Is that the one that they're trying to impeach?
Yeah.
What's the latest on that? Have y'all heard?
The Speaker of the House for Michigan said that they would not bring forth impeachment proceedings.
Well, they backed out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Kind of upset Tammy's uncle that lives up in Michigan. He gets in trouble all the time. But and I'm going to say this of our own Meemaw here in the state of Alabama. You know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
We have got some governors, Republican and Democrats, that have gotten power hungry during this pandemic.
Yeah.
There's only a couple of governors out there. The lady from South Dakota, for example.
Kristi Noem, I love that lady.
she has not tried to take power. But, I mean, people like Meemaw, she is power hungry. There's no reason for us to be doing the things that we're doing in this state.
No.
I agree.
And I believe she's probably going to get addressed in 2 years.
She can't run again.
Huh?
She can't run again. She's already served 2 terms.
Yeah, we will have a new
She only
government.
served out the rest of it. I thought she could 2 full terms plus, I mean,
But-
part of whatever I thought she'd be able to run one more time.
No,
I may be wrong.
I think it's 6 years or 2 terms. Is that correct, Terry? I can't
I'm
remember.
not sure about that, buddy.
I'm not sure about that either.
Well, maybe one of my buddies that are listening online or watching online would can let me know about that. But I don't think she can run again. If she does, she will not be elected.
Oh, no.
And I think one of the best people that could run for governor would be our lieutenant governor right now.
Yeah.
Hainsworth is a good guy, and he's even made some comments against what Meemaw has been doing. But you know,
I think Meemaw just goes along to get along, really, is what she does.
yeah, she wants to be popular with the in class. Well, the in class are a bunch of progressives, and we got to get rid of these progressives. They're running this country, and may have ruined it to a point that it can't recover.
It can, but it's not going to be easy.
Well, you know, Terry's mentioned it before about the Chinese having a 100-year plan.
Yeah.
Well, the progressives have, you know, it's taken them 100 years to get where we're at right now. It may take us more than 100 to get back. Unfortunately, I don't think we'll be around.
Praise God for that. I'm ready to go. And you know, let's go back to Georgia. President Trump is going to go to Georgia and campaign for Senator Loeffler and Senator Perdue, which I think he should. I really think that that's something that he needs to get involved tremendously in that race down there, because the amounts of and I think illegal absentee ballots that are being applied for down there is unprecedented, and it's gonna come down to who controls the Senate.
Yeah.
As to which way this country goes, because believe me, if the Democrats get the control of the Senate, what we have will be a completely different way of life.
I mean, technically, all we need to do is get one of the Senate seats down there, and that would give us the Republicans a 51 majority. But there are some Republicans out there that are kind of wishy-washy.
Yeah, they are.
Now, I think as far as policies that would take away freedoms and stuff like that, I think even the wishy-washy Republicans would stand firm and not allow that to happen. But whenever it comes to spending, those Republicans like Romney, for example, they're going to vote right along with the Democrats.
Yeah, Romney's an idiot, complete and utter.
Yeah, and
those idiots everywhere.
but what was it, 8 years ago? We were pulling for him because he was a lot better than the president. Yeah, exactly. Rod and I talked about this the other day, last week. It is amazing how many people vote Democrat, and what the Democrats stand for, is not Christian in any way.
No, it's not.
Nope. No, it isn't.
Come in.
That was my producer. Sorry. Can y'all smell what she's cooking there?
I wish I could. I'm still having problems. Smelling and
taste and smell, Terry?
I've gotten it back, and then I've lost it, and I've gotten it back, and I've lost it, and so right now I'm not sure. I hadn't eaten anything yet this morning, and that's something I'll have to address here pretty quickly. Being a diabetic, but
yeah, I know my belt bone and backbone and belt buckle are starting to rub together a little bit. I'm gonna have to do the same thing.
I don't think you and I are going to fade away to nothing anytime soon.
Probably not.
None of us are.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, we could have, instead of naming this show The Right Angle, we could have called it Three Fat Boys.
That should be our secondary name for our show, I think. The Three Fat Boys.
If we do another podcast, not talking politics, that's what we'll need to name it.
Yeah, really.
Somebody will probably get offended at it.
Yeah, but we're talking about ourselves, so they can, get over it.
But we can't use three fat guys, because when your lovely producer and your lovely wife, Brian, are contributors, that can get us in. We might have an imprint of a frying pan on our head.
Yeah.
True.
Possible, I guess.
Might say lodge right across our forehead there.
She's part of the reason that I'm in the condition I'm in. I mean, I married her because she could cook. One reason.
You have your coverage for sure. Both of y'all did.
Oh yeah, no doubt. But
who's our sponsor today, Brian?
Our sponsor is Joey Ursery and his fine staff at Superior Heating and Air, and here's a word from Joey.
Our house has never been this comfortable.
They're actually early. We've never had any service like this before.
Our utility bills have never been this low.
Hey, this is Joey, the owner of Superior Heating and Air. These are the things our customers have to say when they turn to the experts at Superior Heating and Air to repair their systems at home or to replace their systems with a new Carrier heating and air system. Give us a call today at 256-837-2525 if you would like the same results for your home. And remember, at Superior Heating and Air, we'll keep the air on for you.
And again, we want to thank Joey and his fine staff for sponsoring this podcast, and you can reach Joey on the World Wide Web at superiorhvac.net or call him at 837-2525. Again, with the cold air fixing to come in, you want to make sure that your heating system is working properly, and so give him a call so he can come out and give you a maintenance check on your system.
And that's not a bad idea to do that occasionally.
Yeah, it really is.
Because I can tell you right now, there are a lot of things, just small things that can happen with a central system
Mm-hmm.
that that a regular routine maintenance check would catch.
Yeah.
And I think
It costs you a small amount of money instead of a huge amount
Right.
of money.
I think you probably need to do that at least twice a year.
Yeah.
Once coming
Yeah.
into the summer and once coming into the winter.
Okay,
Not a bad idea at all.
Yeah, let me go over some of the the overview of the vote fraud allegations that Sidney Powell is pursuing, and again, everybody's hoping it's going to work. Okay, first of all, you got illegal procedures. There's no chain of custody for the machines and large bundles of ballots,
Mm-hmm.
which is a huge no-no. Huge no-no. Poll watchers removed and threatened. And unprecedented voting pauses. And this is the one I think that bothers me the most, is in those particular states that are mainly in contention. You've got voting pauses. What's a pause? What's a voting pause? I mean, why would you do a voting pause in the middle of the night, and then all of a sudden you've got hundreds of thousands of new Biden votes that just appear? I mean, does that stink to high heavens? Or and I really honestly don't understand how these yahoos think they can get by with that. I don't understand that at all.
And where was it? Was it in Georgia where they claimed to have the a water main that broke, and that was why they claimed?
It was in Atlanta, yeah.
Yeah, Fulton
Well,
County.
the story behind that is that it was just a minor leak, and it happened at 6 a.m. that morning, and they didn't start counting the votes until 11. But they claimed you'd have thought it washed out an entire city block. And the truth is that it was only a small leak.
But the thing is, what did that have to do with where the ballots were being counted? From what I understand, it was just a storeroom that happened in.
It was an excuse. It was an excuse.
Yeah.
Sure it was.
And nothing's to stop them from doing that again, because Georgia has decided not to change the way they do their voting.
I think they will before they ever have another election.
They've already said they're not going to. They're not going to change before January 5th. So
I think there's a lot of changes coming.
Now, the Supreme Court may disagree with them on that.
I agree. I think there's going to be some serious changes made.
Very well.
like I
may
said,
disagree.
we just got to get there. And I'm afraid we're running out of time.
We'll get there.
With the changes that we talked about earlier in the show, with the Supreme Court justices being put over those specific areas,
Yeah.
I think that renders that a moot point, I hope. That's what I keep hearing anyway.
But the thing is, someone has to get it to that justice before they can do anything. They just can't say, looking at what's going on and say, well, I don't think that's right, we need to change it. We don't want activist judges, whether they be conservative or liberal.
Can't argue with that.
So
We
someone
want judges to stand up for the Constitution.
Exactly. So someone's got to, whether it's the lady that's doing the lawsuits,
Sidney
she's
Powell?
got to, huh?
Sidney Powell.
Yes. First, I always stop because I want to say Colin Powell, and that I know that's not right.
I think she's his sister, actually.
If Miss Powell will get these in front of those justices, then yes.
But she's been working like the devil for the last 2 or 3 weeks trying to put it. I mean, she's put together what normally would take a year. She's had this done over the course of about 2 weeks.
I understand, and I applaud her for her hard work. But still, we got to get it in front of the justices before anything can happen.
This coming week.
I'm all for jumping on the bandwagon of, this is going to be overturned. I want to be on that bandwagon. But until I see, something happening that's a positive, just one, of Trump's, lawsuits, if that's what we need
Likely
to
not
call
going
it.
to happen until they get that first Supreme Court case. And then, like I said, it's going to be like dominoes falling.
I understand, and I hope that happens. But until we get there, I'm going to still sit on the sidelines. Look, I have seen the court system let us down time after time after time. I'm not only talking about in the national sense, I'm talking about in my personal sense, that I've seen the court system fail us time and time and time again. Now, we are supposed to be a country of laws, correct?
Correct. We are. We're not just supposed to be. We are.
The problem is, we've had so much litigation that it confuses even the judges. Because one part of the law will say this, then the statutes that are brought up will say something else.
But the bottom line is they know that there's voter fraud. And all she's got to have is a preponderance of the evidence. In other words, prove that there is at least a 51% chance that the election was fraudulent. That's all she's got to prove.
And that's what the judge in Pennsylvania said. I feel like they will prevail. The Trump team will prevail. That's what's so incredibly important about that ruling.
I pray that it happens.
Yeah.
I really do pray that it happens.
Amen to that. Guys, we're just about to run out of time. It's amazing how quickly 2 hours can fly by. Huh?
Yes, it is. And it's about time for the Iron Bowl.
What? Are they still playing that?
Yep, they sure are. They sure are. Rod, what you think's going to happen in today's game?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I believe we're going to win it. And I'm going to say by 2 touchdowns.
I would love to see it happen like it did about 5 or 6 years ago, maybe even longer than that.
Yeah.
49-7 or something like that.
That's possible, but it's going to be by at least 2 touchdowns, I believe. That how's the playoffs going to work this time? Do y'all know? As far as determining who's the national champion.
It's the playoff system is still in effect. There had been talk about maybe expanding it to 8 for this year alone, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
If you haven't been following, Alabama's number 1, Notre Dame is 2, Ohio State is
Ohio State
3,
is 3.
and then Clemson is 4. And sitting right outside, looking in, is Texas A&M and Florida.
That's it.
And
Well, the FBI
Number 1 will play number 3, and 2 will play number 4.
yeah. No.
Or-
1 will play 4, 2 will play 3.
2 and 3 will play.
Okay.
But now here's the FBI, the ESPN, football prediction index. They're saying Florida has got a 90.2% chance to win versus Kentucky. Mizzou has got an 88% chance versus Vanderbilt. Alabama's got a 92.2% versus Auburn. Ole Miss has got a 68.2% versus Mississippi State. Texas A&M is a 75.6% favorite over LSU. And wrapping it all up, Georgia is an 89.4% chance of winning at South Carolina. Now, last week, all of their predictions came true. All of them were correct. So who knows about this week? But that's
are
what
you-
the prediction.
Are you aware of what is the history that's going to be made today by Vanderbilt?
No, I didn't know Vanderbilt made history.
Yes, they are making history today. They will have the
I
they
call
will
it
have
Komodo.
the first female football player in history. Well, in of the Big Five, I should say.
Yeah.
She's going to be the kicker. She's
Yep.
she's an all-star kicker on the Vanderbilt women's soccer team. So
Yep.
she's going to be making history. That is, if Vanderbilt can get the ball close enough for her to kick a field goal. I don't know that Vanderbilt's going to be able to do that.
Yeah, I'm not sure they will either. I mean, Mizzou is not the strongest team in the world, so I'd say they'll have a chance. Vanderbilt's actually been playing decent lately, so I think they got a good shot. We got a good shot at seeing her on the field.
Well, if but that's a 2:30 game, isn't it? Or 3?
I'm not sure. It doesn't tell me here what time the game is.
May have to watch it in replay.
They have to.
Well, that's the same time as the Iron Bowl, isn't it?
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I don't have the schedule in front of
What
me.
time would that be, Rod?
I'm sorry?
What time would that be, Rod?
Oh, that'd be about 2:30
On CBS.
on CBS,
Yeah.
yes.
So,
Well, guys, we're fixing to hit 11 o'clock Central Time.
Yes,
So-
we are. Speaking of which, Brian, you know there was a former player, I think Hannerly was his last name, who played at Bama here, I don't know, a few years ago, but long and short, he and his wife, he just got married not long ago, and they were both killed in an accident. They were
oh,
on their honeymoon, actually.
Wow.
oh, goodness.
Both were killed. This was one night this week, like Tuesday night, my producer says. Let's remember them when we pray.
Yeah.
It's a very, very, very sad tragedy.
It really is. That is sad.
Yeah. He,
Um,
2014, 2013, 2014, somewhere in that range was when he was there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. I can tell you the times now. LSU, Texas is 6 o'clock tonight on ESPN. Kentucky, Florida is 11 a.m. this morning, so it starts here in just a few minutes on SEC Network. No, ESPN, excuse me. Georgia and South Carolina is 6:30 tonight on SEC. Mississippi State and Ole Miss is today at 3 o'clock on ESPN. Oh, SEC, excuse me. So that kind of gives you an update. We're out of time, guys.
Yep.
God bless you.
Y'all have a wonderful day.
Pray.
Likewise.
Pray. Pray. Pray like it all depends on God, because it does.
It does.
Amen. God bless you guys.